2 days after occupation, Ukraine filed a lawsuit against ICJ, argued that the use of Russia as an excuse for genocide is an excuse for 1948 UN Genocide Congress. When Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered invasion on February 24 last year, his reasoning was exposure of bullying and genocide by Kiev regime, the pro-Russian people in East Ukraine. Moscow Representative Gennady Kuzmin said that Ukraine abused the United Nations Genocide Convention as a reason to start Russia's war against its neighbor in February 2022. Russia was shot the International Court of Justice in the International Court of Justice on Monday, because Moscow's genocide Eastern Ukraine was an excuse for last year's invasion. Kuzmin, the genocide contract, including international law only statements cannot be accepted, he said. Kuzmin, sitting only in a meter away from Ukrainian delegation, said, when it comes to statements concerns about threat genocide policies Kiev regime, which is strictly attached to history, doctrines and practices Nazism, was not surprising. The legal position of Ukraine contradicts the court's desperately flawed and the case law that has been going on for a long time. The trial at Magnificent Peace Palace in The Hague ended whether the upper UN court had jurisdiction to order Russia's ongoing military action. Jurisdiction. In March 2022, ICJ ordered Russia to suspend immediately his military action. However, this decision, so-called preliminary decision, which was waiting for a decision on whether court really authorized to decide on content of issue. The court's decisions are binding, but there is no police force to implement them. According to Russia, ICJ has no jurisdiction because Ukraine's case is out of the scope of UN Genocide Convention. The hearing on Monday argued that a Russian representative addressed the court for the first time in this case and had not enough time to prepare an argument before. The Ukrainian response will release on Tuesday. More than 30 countries, all Western allies of Ukraine, will have the chance to make a statement to support Kiev on Wednesday. After the World War II, the court created to cope with disputes between UN member states may take months to decide whether it has jurisdiction. ICJ is also dealing with a separate case by Ukraine claiming that Russia supports separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine years before the invasion.